Welcome to this Ethics Olympiad heat between MLC in Melbourne, Victoria, and Hale School in Perth, Western Australia. This topic, or this issue, was given to the students some months before the actual heat was held. The topic for the discussion that's about to be held is called Lying to Parents. And this is the case. Noah is a 21-year-old university student. He excels academically, plays on an inter-college sports team, and has a part-time job on campus. His parents are very religious and believe that drinking alcohol is morally abhorrent. Noah, however, has recently started having a few beers at parties on the weekend. Contrary to his parents, Noah doesn't see anything wrong with drinking alcohol. Although he never gets drunk and drives under the influence, his family would be infuriated if they found out he was consuming alcohol, and they would practically disown him if he told them that he sees nothing wrong with it. When confronted by his parents about drinking, Noah is unsure how to respond. In part, Noah thinks that he should tell his parents the truth about his drinking because he has a right to hold his own beliefs and shouldn't have to hide those beliefs, especially from his parents. Although Noah is very grateful to his parents for his upbringing, he doesn't believe that he must live his life exactly as they want. In any case, he is only having a few beers at parties. If they love him for who he is, thinks Noah, they will accept him despite their differences. On the other hand, Noah is certain that if he answers their question honestly, it would be very detrimental to his relationship with his parents, the two people that he loves the most in life. Even if his parents eventually come to terms with his drinking, Noah knows that things will never be the same once he tells them. They will feel betrayed and very hurt. They may even withdraw their financial support for him, which includes paying his tuition and living expenses at university. If Noah just lies, he sometimes thinks he could avoid a potentially damaging situation. The question the students were asked to address was, is it morally permissible to tell a lie in order to achieve some greater good? If so, under what conditions? Students are given some time to, once they're given the question, to discuss it as a team, and then they come up with a team response. What follows is a short selection of the students' responses and the other team's response to their arguments, together with the judges' questions that are put to them later. Please note that we are using Skype to connect the two schools from one side of Australia to the other.
It can be more morally permissible to lie when you're certain of the consequences of telling the truth. So in this case, Noah, it's stating from reading this, Noah is certain that if he answers the questions honestly, it would be very detrimental to his relationships with his parents, the two people he loves the most in life. So Noah is certain that telling this lie would cause great harm to his relationship with his parents. Or telling the truth would cause great harm, so therefore it is more morally permissible for him to lie to avoid this harm.
It is also more morally permissible to lie if you know that the lie told will not have any severe consequences on the person you're telling it to. For example, if since Noah said, okay, I'm not drinking alcohol, and lied to his parents will not necessarily suffer from that lie. They will not make any great decisions from this lie, which will result in negative consequences for them.
If the lie, telling this lie would affect the decisions that other people made based off this information, then we believe that it's less morally permissible to do so, as it has a potential to cause a great harm if other people acted on
this misinformation.
Yeah.
So then they wouldn't be exactly having a correct view of exactly what is the best option. And this could in turn grow as the information they said to whatever other person, it carries again and again, and so this would sort of grow exponentially with this misinformation and cause even more harm. But because his parents aren't using this information to make any decisions, it's simply a sort of moral atmosphere they have in their family, then it's morally permissible.
So it comes down to if it's morally permissible to lie or not is the good that you are achieving and the implications that good will have on people.
And just we should probably summarize our conditions that we came up with,
Yes.
which were, for example, that the person who was being told the lie shouldn't suffer from being told the lie, that they the lie shouldn't negatively impact any decisions they make.
So basically the conditions we came up with, one was that they won't make any decisions that might have negative consequences simply based on this lie. Two, the lie told actually has prevents greater harm from happening.
It's also morally permissible, but one has to also consider that Noah is a legal adult in all countries. Being the age of 21, he is able to drink alcohol legally. He is a civilian who has the right to make his own decisions, provided they're legal, and the decisions of his parents shouldn't necessarily hinder nor alter his views, besides the fact that they are funding his schooling.
As Harry previously said about the funding, we see that as a small part of what is actually happening. The fact that they, from the lie, would not know about the situation, it doesn't affect them at all, and it doesn't affect anyone. It's morally permissible.
So just in summary, we believe that we agree with you that it is morally permissible to tell a lie in order to achieve some greater good. So, and we also agree about the conditions, as long as they don't harm the person that it is. So like conditions such as like telling white lies and the axe murder that you brought up, we also agree that is a good point. So like telling white lies and other things like that, they protect the person. Like say if like your mum cooked a meal and then you didn't really like it, but instead of just being mean, you decide to be nice and just be like, oh yeah, it was good, mum. So that is another example of where it can be morally permissible to lie.
Time, Dylan. Thank you.
Okay, so Noah is a legal adult. However, legal obligations are not necessarily moral ones. For example, while it's legally permissible for him to drink the alcohol as he is an adult, the thing is that he has a moral obligation to his parents, which is not necessarily covered by law. For example, obligations like these differ from culture to culture. Like in many Asian cultures, it's pretty much you don't disobey your parents, like ever. So, Noah, while he's lying to his parents, this is further complicated by the fact that he has a moral obligation to his parents, which is not necessarily covered by law.
So we also believe, nothing that ever happens in our world is something that we can be certain of. Our minds act on a balance of probability. So if you go down to sit in a chair, you're fairly confident that the chair will not break, but there's always a chance that if you sit in the chair, by some chance the leg will snap off and it will fall over or someone will pull it out under you. Nothing you ever do is certain, but if the balance of probability is great enough that you can be fairly certain of an outcome, then it can be morally permissible to lie to order to present.
The judges now have 30 seconds to collect their thoughts and come up with some questions for Team A. These might be questions of clarification or asking you to explain something. Well, the same thing, isn't it? But anyway, and Team A will respond to those questions. For up to 10 minutes. So we've got 10 minutes for a Q&A session if needed, and judges' questions should be brief and clear and without commentary ideally. So give it some time, or you're on. I'll move the camera to the start.
Is it to us?
So these are to you, yes?
Okay, thank you. Look, I just want to ask a question of clarification first, and just going back to what Georgina said in that the last section. Can you remember that you had 2 points? So I just want to hear them again, if you don't mind.
Was that the white lie and utilitarianism? When I was talking about white lies, I was saying that the other team was saying something about white lies being an easy form of lie to create a greater good, and I was just coming up with the point that any sort of lie in the situation is possible. It doesn't have to be a white lie in terms of, as long as the lie does create a greater good, then that lie is morally permissible. And then with utilitarianism, I was saying that if the lie creates a greater good than another form of lie, for example, if you had two lies and one created more good, then that lie is more morally permissible than another lie.
Okay. I think I understand. You were perhaps going a bit fast for me at that point, and so I needed to go through it again. Okay. In philosophy, it's very good, I think, a good principle to go slowly, and mostly you did. I think that was fine. I could follow pretty well everything, but I thought I wasn't too sure what you were saying at that point. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let me ask a general question, which is similar to what the boys over here were driving at. It looked to me as if you thought, and I'm not sure whether I got this right, looked to me as if you thought the only issue was weighing up of consequences. That's the only general, in putting it in general terms, what's the general issue here? It looks as if you thought the only issue was weigh up the consequences and you'll get the right answer. Is that what you're saying, or was there a sort of second part to your argument which said, no, it's not just that, there's another set of factors we have to think about?
You can confer, girls, if you want.
No rush, we've got plenty of time.
So, okay, so essentially what we're saying is that Noah's parents have a trust in him for him to tell the truth, which is why they'll believe what he'll say. So if Noah lies to his parents, he is essentially betraying part of their trust. However, I think this is offset by the fact that his lie will actually protect his relationship with his parents, because in this case, if he deliberately tells the truth, then he'll definitely ruin his relationship with his parents. Well, at least Noah is certain that he will.
I do think you were right in saying about this case that we're given the sentence, no one knows that things will never be the same again, right? So it's not as if any doubt is left in the way this story is told. I think you're right about that, because my reaction would be to say, well, how does Noah know this? You know, he might think that the sky will fall in if he tells his parents the truth, but is that realistic? I mean, that's another way of tackling the question.
I guess this is just emphasising that legally he is recognised as an adult, and so no matter whether this case is taking place in Australia or America, he has the legal right to make his own decisions and the legal right to drink. And the only thing, I guess, wrong with him having the occasional drink but not getting drunk or driving under the influence is his parents' view on drinking.
And his family culture that sort of prohibits that sort of thing. That I suppose we sort of have to think that he not only has responsibility. Okay.
No, it's all right. Just keep going.
It's like he also has a duty to like his nation, as in terms of like upholding the law, but he also has a duty to his family and his relations, because they are ultimately the people who will be closest to him and who will give him the most amount of support. So while we accept that point, we also believe that there's another dimension that he also has to think about and uphold in a way, placing more emphasis on that than just the law itself.
His moral obligation is more important than the law.
But aren't you...
No, in this case, he's not crossing the law, so it doesn't even...
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. At the legal level, you can look at it the way you are, but why is the moral level so clear-cut? I mean, after all, parents... he's now an adult, he's grown up. You'd think he would... At this point in his life, he has to say to himself, me and my parents are moral equals. At least, if not at 21, then what about 31 or 51? And, you can see how that extrapolates.
I feel like in this case, he does have a certain tie or requirement obligation to his parents because of the fact that his parents are covering his tuition.
Sorry, girls, that's